Good afternoon. Our next piece that we're going to do for you needs a little description. So I'm going to take just a moment to talk about this. I'll talk to you more about your kids in just a little while. But I do want to talk to you just a little bit about our next piece that we're going to play by Randall Standridge. The name of this piece is Fragile. It comes from a larger group of works that he has done that comes from a project he calls the Unbroken Project. And he has written a series of pieces dealing with mental health. And some of these pieces are really powerful. So we've talked with the students. I've talked with the students a little bit about this piece and about its representation. So I wanted to do that with you so you have a mental image of what's going on, or an image in your mind of what's going on. This piece of music starts very softly, very, very quietly. And it's about an individual, I say a student, but an individual who has a mental health issue. His own mother suffers from a pretty severe mental issue, which is what inspired this. The individual is aware that something's wrong, but is trying to bravely persist. This clarinets will continue to introduce this main theme, and you'll hear this melody that will appear throughout the piece, sometimes just in fragments, but you'll hear this main melody that the clarinets will first introduce. The first segment kind of concludes, and you can tell that something is about to happen. The center section is actually a mental health issue. The person has an outbreak of their situation. The tempo marking, or the actual marking in the score, is violently. And you will hear the mental health issue when it happens in the center of the piece. It will end on the section of the piece will end on a very, very dissonant clarinet note. It's on purpose. And it leads to moments of resolution. And we'll have a flute solo, an unaccompanied flute solo, that will kind of represent coming back out of this episode again and in a very beautiful section at the end of the piece. But the point of this piece is that we are fragile, and that people with mental health are. And sometimes it doesn't get better. Sometimes the ending's not happy. And so at the end of the piece, it ends on kind of a note that leads you to understand that human beings are very fragile. And that's kind of the point of this piece. We wanted to tell you that. This is a very beautiful work by Randall Standridge called Fragile.